Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, February 3rd. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. As the ongoing repair work on the soon-to-be-opened Argyle International Airport runway continues to create concern among the Vincentian public, opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday is advising officials to ensure that the matter is addressed in a credible and authoritative manner. Speaking of his concerns on a local radio program earlier today, Dr. Friday questioned that since the AIA already received approval from the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority to begin operations as of February 14th, if the recent repair work would affect any plans for the scheduled opening.
It was apparent that the airport work would be completed by the 11th, so therefore they were granting their approval to fly in at the beginning on the 14th. And for me, it seems a little odd that, if it hadn't been completed at the point when you do the assessment, that at least they should wait until it's done and then say, if you have something else to do, call me back in 3 days or a week and so on, and then we'll give you approval. But it raises the issue now of all the work that's going on and what does it mean? How does it affect the plans that are in place, apparently now for airplanes to fly in there? It seriously is a national issue and one of very great significance considering the cost and that has been expended on it and the hope that so many people have that it will fulfill its much vaunted objective, and that is all our hope. But we need to have this matter addressed, and I think the concern that was raised by Mr. Hamilton, previous caller, is very genuine and real, and it needs to be addressed.
The opposition leader further expressed hopes to see the project succeed.
Have an authoritative response from the government and from the agency that is actually responsible for approving it. And of course we know that beyond that there is still the matter of approval by further agencies like the Federal Aviation Administration that has to be applied for, and the meeting ICAO standards, and those things are all necessary for the proper operation of an international airport. We have spent $1 billion on it. We have a lot of people who have sacrificed, a lot of communities have sacrificed a lot, lands that have been sold to the financing of this project. We've had resources that have been diverted from other parts of the economy and society in order to fund the project. So obviously, with all of that investment and all of that sacrifice, it would be in the best interest of everybody. And I think all Vincentians would wish to see that it succeed. And that certainly is my wish and the wish of everybody in the New Democratic Party and all of our supporters and all Vincentians generally.
And describing the Argyle International Airport as a great potential for success, leader of the Democratic Republican Party, Anicia Batiste, is calling on those in authority to inject more into the promotion and marketing of the air facility. Batiste, on her Serving the People television program, said that a tourism package must also be created to appeal to visitors, enticing them to visit this country.
It is clear that the AIA, the Argyle International Airport, has great potential for the development of our country economically and otherwise. But its success will be dependent on how we manage it, how we, generally speaking, invest in things like tourism, agriculture, industrial development in order to maximize the potential benefits of this project. We here at the DRP are concerned that in the case of tourism development, we're not seeing sufficient injection into the marketing and product development of the destination in order for us to increase visitor demand to the destination in order for the airport and the issue of flights and so on to function as it should.
Batiste, a tourism expert, says this country must not rely on what is termed as airline guarantees, where the government would pay airlines to travel to the destination.
You don't want to depend on airline guarantees all the time to keep bringing airlines. You want to be able to be out there so much that people know about you, that there is increased demand for your destination. They want to come and therefore they can fill up the flights and you wouldn't have to pay the airlines for loss that they generate because they couldn't fill their flights or whatever the case may be, or because the route is not as profitable as they thought. So what we would like to see more of is investment in tourism marketing, in product development. And when we talk about product development, we're talking about developing the sites properly, maintaining them properly, access roads to sites which have been very poorly kept over the years. I did a program in 2015, I believe it was, where we showed certain access roads to sites like Fort Charlotte and Layou petroglyphs, and they were horrible. They make for bad visitor experiences, and those things do not encourage repeat visits.
And most Vincentians seem excited with the coming operation of the Argyle International Airport, set for February 14th, 2017. Though it is Valentine's Day, where the colors red and white are predominantly worn by persons worldwide, the issue has been a talking point here, whether persons should wear red for the opening day of the national project, as the color red is the party color of the ruling Unity Labour Party administration. Some of the persons we spoke with today expressed concern, while others see nothing wrong with it.
I am anxious to see what happens 2 days after, if flights are coming, and who come in and what are they coming to do. Nobody really ever answered those questions.
What about the color red? Do you think that's what we are issuing?
No, it should be for all of us. There should be no color. Everybody should just be invited for a change in our aviation arrangements. Why color?
How you feel about it?
I'm feeling happy. I'm good.
What do you think about the wearing of red and colors?
That's good to Labour love you.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I feel nice because at least we're doing our own international. Red, it don't matter with me because it should be red, yellow, or green. You understand? The color don't really matter.
I think it's really nice for us Nigerian students because it's easier for us to travel to the US now. We don't have to go through Barbados, so I'm really happy about it.
Like, it's really cool. That's what I have to say.
Very important. Very important.
What do you think about the wearing of the color red?
I don't comment about that.
The way the world is going today, we are not disputing the opening of the airport. It's very, very important for us as a nation. But the problem we have is red. It is not good. It's not a good sign because the airport do not belongs to NDP. It do not belongs to ULP. It belongs to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I think that if there should be any color that should be wearing, it should be our national colors.
Okay, it's okay.
And what do you think about the wearing of the color red?
Well, it's Valentine's, so I don't think it's a problem.
I'm very excited for it.
Think about the wearing of the color red.
It's a very strategic move by the PM.
It's a project that would develop St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it's welcome news that it's going to finally be opened.
And what do you think about the wearing of the color red? Do you think that's an issue?
I think the wearing of the color red is symbolic for Valentine's Day. I mean, I don't attribute it to, whichever political party is opening the airport. I mean, the political supporters of that party might see it that way, but to me it sets no change. What matters the most is that the airport is actually becoming operational, and that's what matters most to us as Vincentians.
It's good for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We never had an international airport before, so it's a great thing,
And what do you think about the wearing of the color red?
Well, I mean, it's Valentine's Day, isn't it? So, I mean, just in keeping with the day.
A call has been made for Vincentians, particularly persons in the business sector, to adopt a collaborative mindset in order to take advantage of opportunities which will become available in SVG, particularly so with the opening of the Argyle International Airport. Immediate past president of the Hotel and Tourism Association, Kim Halbich, said local businesses have to adopt a solidarity mindset in their operations for greater development.
I believe we have an issue where the left hand is not knowing doesn't know what the right hand is doing very often. So we keep reinventing the wheel in different sectors. When if we collaborate more, we were able to move forward steadily, as opposed to keep starting at the beginning again, which is something I see very prominent in terms of the actual small business, the business sector, we have so we have a mentality where we exist on our own, which I have been trying to work on in the Hotel and Tourism Association, where you have to fight for yourself and it's a dog eat dog world, and we're in a crab in a barrel mentality, and this is something that we really have to get over. People would say, oh, all these foreigners come in, they work together, but Vincentians don't work together, and unfortunately it's somewhat true, and we're trying to move past that together we're stronger.
Halbish noted that there has been work done in order for farmers and hotels to cooperate, but highlighted some of the difficulties associated with such cooperation.
I have had many meetings where we have people come in and ask, how can the farmers supply you? The thing about that, it is difficult initially because we are not very, the hotels are not full all the time. So we cannot say to a farmer, well, I need 100 pounds of this every week or whatever. And so very often we'd say, well, I need 100 pounds this week, but next week just give me 20.
Right.
And it is a difficult thing to coordinate, and we definitely have had consultants. We've even talked about the actual farms being a tourism site and an attraction. But what I think we need is it's almost like a middleman where the hotels could go and not necessarily go to the market, but there's a depot where you can buy your provision.
The managing director of the Paradise Beach Hotel added that farmers and business persons must ensure that high-quality products are not only delivered to the hoteliers, but also be maintained.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a government initiative either.
Exactly.
A private individual
Government
may
can
say,
support.
well, listen, I am going to be a wholesaler of fruits and vegetables, and I am going to set up an area. So the opportunity is there,
Yes.
So all you have to be is the middleman between the farmer and instead of dealing with one hotel, you deal with maybe 15, and don't limit yourself to hotels. Add restaurants to it and stuff like that.
Yachts.
Right,
but you have to also maintain the quality of the product, because sometimes we will order something and it's great today, and we see it, we like it, but the next time the quality of the product is not. Well, we had plenty rain so these are some of the issues that are there, and I know they're working with them, but it's sometimes you don't see the tangible results.
Did you feel that quake today? Earthquake tremors were felt by residents here and in neighboring Caribbean islands earlier this evening. The 5.8 magnitude earthquake was recorded northeast of St. Lucia sometime around 3:54 p.m. According to the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center, the quake was located at 15.03 degrees north and 60.58 degrees west with a depth of 20 kilometers. It was reportedly felt in Antigua, Martinique, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia. The center, however, asked the public to note that the mentioned results were preliminary and may vary when additional data is processed. 2 other earthquakes were recorded by the Seismic Research Center today, one at around 1 a.m. west of Tobago, measuring 3.7 magnitude at a depth of 23 kilometers, and another at around 8:08 a.m., which measured a magnitude 3.8 northeast of St. Kitts and Nevis with a depth of some 83 kilometers. Faith and spiritual encouragement is of critical importance to many persons who are diagnosed with cancer, and a call has been made for more churches to provide such comfort to persons suffering with the disease. The call was made by Dr. Joselle Miller, founder of the Scorch Cancer Support Foundation, as she spoke with SVG-TV News about the foundation's upcoming fundraising activities as well as the support which is needed by persons with cancer. Dr. Miller noted that while some churches have been taking a proactive approach in giving the spiritual support to persons with cancer, more churches need to get involved.
From a spiritual standpoint, we are also calling for all the churches to get on board. Many times people ask the question, where are the churches? And a lot of churches have health programs, which I must commend. I know the Adventist for sure has a very strong health program, and they would have repeatedly, been doing stuff surrounding cancer. They have walks and marches and, different forums where they discuss. And that is very important. So we want other churches to get on board. We want churches to see church groups come in and offer that sort of spiritual encouragement in the hospitals. Come and pray. There are some persons who would welcome a prayer.
The health psychologist, however, noted that some patients have mainly embraced faith and spirituality to cope with their diagnosis while ignoring the advice of their medical doctors, but both must go hand in hand.
A lot of our patients have an interesting understanding of what faith represents. Now, faith without works we know to be dead. And one of the things that we have seen patients do is that they hold on to spirituality as a means of coping, which is very good. But at the same time, what we want to encourage is that you don't turn a blind eye or a deaf ear to what is happening. If your medical practitioners, your doctors are suggesting to you that you need chemotherapy or radiotherapy, yes, it's your choice. But at the same time, if persons say that, I'm praying and I'm exercising faith, and you're not listening to the fact that the Lord could have provided doctors to help you, because healing can come from many different ways. So you have to open yourself to healing, okay? And if pastors come on board and they can explain certain things as it relates to faith and belief and trust, then that can go a long way.
Dr. Miller noted the need for evidence-based information on cancer and its causes and called on medical students to consider the area for research and development.
The Ministry of Health has been committed to help persons with cancer. We have had an oncologist here, and I know in years to come we expect to see advancements. As Dr. Miguel mentioned earlier, we want to see more research, and even with that we're encouraging students, medical students or persons who have an interest. That's another way that you can offer support, because when we have evidence-based research that we can say these are the causes, then we know exactly where to channel resources to alleviate the problem of cancer. So the team says we can, I can. All of us, we have to be invested in supporting persons with cancer.
Member of Parliament for South Leeward Nigel Stevenson is concerned about the rising prices for low to middle income houses. In his contribution to the 2017 budget estimates in Parliament earlier this week, Stevenson noted that there is a rising demand for homes here and that the government should place more emphasis on quality rather than quantity.
Because a house, Mr. Speaker, is a lifelong investment. And once you make that investment, you want to ensure that regardless of what the weather system is, and you and your family are inside, you will be secure. It is something that I will be watching, Mr. Speaker, and it is one that I will come back to, if the Lord will, during the budget. I also noticed, Mr. Speaker, that assistance will be given to the most vulnerable by renovating and repairing homes which were damaged by natural disasters. The last trough system, Mr. Speaker, quite a number of people, their properties sustained damages.
The South Leeward representative further made an appeal for the placement of street lights in several areas of the country and specifically highlighted the Gibson Corner area.
I've been asked by some of the residents to come to the Parliament and ask of the Parliament the powers that be when they go to Cabinet, because they've tried to get street light on particular areas quite dark. And they've been trying to get street light, and they were told that decision has to come from Cabinet. So I'm making an appeal here for street lights to be placed in that part, because it is a part of the Gibson Corner relocation project.
3 persons have been arrested and charged for the daring daylight robbery of a significant sum of money belonging to a business place here. According to initial information received, 2 male perpetrators were walking between vehicles located in front of the First Caribbean International Bank sometime after 10 on Monday morning, where they approached the employees of the PH Vera and Company Limited at gunpoint as they were reportedly on their way to deposit the weekend's earnings. The perpetrators allegedly demanded that the monies be handed over, after which the 2 men reportedly fled the scene in the direction of Richmond Hill. The police confirmed to SVG-TV News today that the matter involves 3 individuals, 2 under the age of 16 and 1 24-year-old, and has been taken to the High Court. While the names of the individuals were not revealed, it was said that 2 are from the Kingstown area and the other from the community of Glen and Otley Hall. The authorities further stated that the money stolen amounted to some $36,950 EC dollars. This is the second such incident to have occurred in the said vicinity in years. In 2013, a female postal corporation worker was robbed of over $100,000 in cash. A police who went to her assistance received a gunshot injury in that incident.